All right, so we will get started. I am going to share my screen. It's going to have two different items. It says it's loading. Here we go. It's going to have two different things. On the right side of the screen is going to be your guys' Berkshire intranet. On the left side of the screen will be the first screen you see when you get into the Agent One app. The app can either be on your phone or you can use it as a desktop version. The reason I start on the desktop version is because it's more uniform depending on if you have iPhone, Android, what version. It can be different on the phone. So that way we just do it here from the computer. If you need to download the app, you should be able to go to your store and just search Preferred Agent One and it should pop up. If you don't have it downloaded or you can't find it, just let me know. I can also send you a link. So it's not a big deal. I can send you a link. When you download it, it will ask you to pick a loan officer. It's not a big deal, really, what loan officer you pick. Only you will see that information on the back side of the app. If you ever have any questions or anything like that, it shows our contact info. Our information doesn't carry over on the app. You will have to build your profile to have your information show up, and I'll show you that going down the line. You don't have to do that right away, but you will want to do that before you get cost sheets out because it makes it look better. So first things first, if you've never been in the app before and you want to get to it, if you go to the Berkshire Hathaway intranet, if you see the Agent One logo right there, you click on that, you sign right in. Now, when you click on the app, and when it takes you to the site, it may ask you to download for Mac, download for PC. I've never downloaded it. I don't know what that does. It works for me just to log in, so I always just log in. So once you click on the Agent One button on the left-hand side, it will then take you into the app. Now, the app is very strong, but it looks very basic. And we've made it that way. We want it to be basic for you guys as the users, but it make very accurate, beautiful cost sheets for you guys on the other end. So there's not a lot to it on our side of things. It can do three things really. You can do buyer cost sheets, you can do seller cost sheets, and then you can go into the premium section that has all kinds of internet marketing or social media marketing. So at the tab at the top or on your phone, it will be at the bottom. You're going to see the buyer. You're going to see the seller. You'll also see calculators, estimates, and premium. So if you click on calculators, that's going to be all these different calculators that they have inside the app. We would have a whole day going over all these. Are they really needed? No, you can look at them. There may be some that help specific buyers at certain times, but that's really getting into the weeds of the app. The estimates would just be if you save any estimates, you can save them and get back to them, and that's where those would be there. And then we'll talk later about the premium section. It's perfect. It's early in the month. Every month, the app automatically has a new marketing package. So this May package has just come out. A nice little update shows you what's going on, what the different pieces are, and then you have the ability to share those pieces on your social media. So that's automatically once a month new social media pieces. But we're going to go back to the beginning. And again, if I go too fast, if anyone has any questions, just yell at me. But we'll start. I'm going to click on the buyer, and we're going to start with the buyer cost sheet. Before, you used to be able to pick the county and things like that. You don't need to pick the county. We have tried to delete things, again, out of the user side to make this easier for you guys. In the upper left-hand column, we do have business in PA and Ohio for this app. So if you have anything in Ohio, you can use it, but we're mostly going to be Pennsylvania. So leave that as Pennsylvania. I'm not changing anything. This address, it says add address. You can add the address if you want. This is going to automatically calculate the property taxes. I don't like to automatically calculate property taxes on anything, so I would probably not put in the property address, and don't ever touch the options unless we go more in depth into the app. The first item you're going to, guys, start clicking into is the type of loan you're going to have. Is it conventional FHA, VA, or USDA? And then also there's an all cash option. So if you do have a cash buyer, you still can use the app for cash buyers. So we'll leave it at conventional. We'll type in a purchase price, whatever the purchase price will be. You can make the down payment, whatever the buyer's down payment's going to be. The interest rate is going to be about an average. We update it as much as we can. Every buyer is going to be slightly different. Please remember, this is meant to kind of be the first line of defense, a quick cost sheet to give your buyers. If they need more accurate numbers, have them call me. I'll give them a loan estimate. I'll get them pre-approved. This isn't going to be exactly what their closing costs are going to be. This is going to be as close as we can get it. So that interest rate is going to be an estimate. With the term, whether it's a 30-year, 15-year, whatever it may be, you can change the term. Now, the miscellaneous section is a little unique. You don't really click in this box right here if you need to add or subtract. So if you're adding anything to the closing cost or subtracting anything from the closing cost, you'll click on the little wheel widget in miscellaneous. This will bring up this extra box where you're going to either add or subtract from closing costs. So let's say we're going to subtract from closing costs. That would be seller assistance. So you put in seller assistance, and maybe it's just going to be $1,000. So we'll throw $1,000 seller assistance in there, and you hit done. It says the miscellaneous costs have been stored and will show in your closing cost breakdown. So you say, okay, that's stored in there. Put that up here for later. We'll check that out in a second. Now, as miscellaneous is reading, it's stored. Hazard insurance, we just preset it in here as $1,200 for the year. That's $100 a month. It's probably a little bit high for most purchase prices, but heck, for a good solid estimate to start with your clients, you can't go wrong with $100 a month for homeowners insurance. So that's thrown in there for you. You don't have to worry about the homeowners or the hazard. Next, again, this is a section we simplified for you guys. Before, you had to click multiple buttons, you had to find the millages, or you had to put the multiple taxes in. All you have to do here is put the yearly tax number in. If you calculate it, if you find it online, wherever you got the yearly taxes, put it in right here. We'll throw $4,000 a year in the property taxes. If there is an HOA, you can add it in the next one here. Please be careful though, monthly or annual. Make sure you have that correct, or that could affect your monthly payment. The last item we just changed is the transfer tax. We have it preset, 1% for the buyer. That is your normal transaction. Normal transaction is 2% total, 1% for the seller, 1% for the buyer. So we have it preset in here as 1% for the buyer. On the drop-down box, you can see it's buyer, seller, or split. So if you wanted to, I'm not saying do this, if you wanted to, you could do 2% split. That's going to be the same exact thing as 1% buyer. If you have the case that the buyer is paying more than the normal 1%, you can add that in here, but it's preset for all of the normal transactions to be 1% for the buyer to change for the transfer tax. And then finally, the closing date shows up. That is supposed to affect the day's interest. We again have sent this back to the app developers. We always want the interest to say 30 days. So to be honest, don't even worry about changing that date. It's going to change with whatever date it is today, but don't worry about that closing date. We're going to have 30 days of interest in your estimate. So if you did this point, if you've gotten this far, all of your information is correct. Now we hit compute. Once you hit compute, it takes you to the next screen where it takes you to the 2 circles. I tell everyone, once you see the 2 circles, you're close. You got the information you're looking for. We're not just quite there yet. As you can see, it's showing you the monthly payment and the cash to close. Biggest thing about this monthly payment that's different than all those other calculators you'll see online, it shows you the full payment, not just the principal and interest. As you can see in the center, we have principal and interest, we have taxes, we have insurance, and we have mortgage insurance. That's the 5 parts of your mortgage payment, so that's the full payment. You then have your bring to close over here. Now, if you're on your phone, the next step in the upper right-hand corner of your phone, there's going to be a square with an arrow coming out of the top. That's the share widget. You're going to hit that button, and you're going to want to click Send Full Report. When you click Send Full Report, that's then going to take you to where you can get to the different cost sheets. If you're on the computer, all you have to do here is hit Share or Print PDF. So then it's going to take a second to build into the cost sheet. So you put all the information in, you then hit Compute. It went to the 2 circles, and then after you saw the information, you then have to build the cost sheet. And like I said, depending on your internet time, this will take different time. Here we go, we're good. On your phone, in the bottom left-hand corner, there's probably a button that says Customize, where you can click into that button and get the different types of cost sheets. So as you can see, one is showing here. On the right-hand side, there's another little search bar that you can go up and down. It has 15 or 20 different types of cost sheets. All of the information is already preset into all of these cost sheets. It's up to you guys which one you want to use from here. There's some of them that's more basic. There's one maybe 5 down. There's this one here. I like this one. This one is super basic. It's very easy to read, and it has all the information. Please remember, all of this info at the top will be your information once you put your profile. The only place Wentz Penn Financial shows is in the bottom right-hand corner that says the rates and fees are provided by us, because by law they have to be provided by a lender. So you can go through. Some of them are more detailed. So once you get to this point, for example, if you pick the local guide, you may want to add an address, because some of these will then pull in local information, your local schools, the local restaurants, things like that. So you can then edit the property information, put in the address, and then you have more than a cost sheet. You got almost like a local community report as well. But I'm going to go back to this original cost sheet because it's the most basic one. Once you get here and you have your cost sheet, again, if you're on your phone, you hit that square with the arrow and you can send it out. You can put it on social media, you can email it, you can text it, you can do whatever you need to with it. If you're on the computer, again, you can email it, you can download it to your computer, you can print it right out, you can share it, or you can save it. Also, the nice thing, if you have any buyers that English isn't their first language, you can easily click this button here. For example, change it to Spanish, and it will then put the cost sheet into Spanish. Hopefully, there we go. So just a nice feature. Again, if you have clients where English isn't their first language, this is tough enough to understand if it is, so that might help out some clients. So that is the buyer cost sheet. So that's the one I'm most involved with, but that's not only the one that you guys will be using. You also have the option to do a seller cost sheet from here as well. So up in the tab, we can easily go from buyer to seller. So next we'll click seller. And here we can get over to this side, and I'm gonna start a new search because I was messing around in here before. Next, again, you can click the loan type, but this is more telling the seller what they're going to net, just kind of from the sale. So I don't know how important that is. So again, we'll throw in a purchase price of 200,000. You guys can put the broker fee whatever you need it to be. It's listed in there as 6%, just as customary. Any repairs, miscellaneous that you needed to add, you can add. This right here is the one question I always get, Ryan. What about the taxes? We've tried and tried to talk to the app developers because this is a national app too. In other states, sellers do pay taxes. In our state, we know that the sellers are going to get prorated back at closing their taxes. This can't get that close. So all I tell everyone is just put $1 in here. It's actually going to prorate it for less. Throw $1 in. If the seller owes anything on their loan, you can throw that amount in here. Again, the interest rate doesn't really matter. The one glitch I saw, guys, and I've already researched out to my app developer to try to get them to fix this. I don't know if this is on yours as well. This says for transfer tax, 1% buyer. This either needs to be 2% split or 1% seller. If that's 1% buyer, it is not going to calculate the transfer tax properly for the seller. So again, I just put a ticket into the app developer to make sure that's correct. Make sure on your guys that if you're doing a seller cost sheet that we have it correct for seller. This closing date could make a difference. It might be days interest, but again, just you don't need to mess with the closing date. If you compute, it does the same idea, though it's only one circle this time, the net sheet to close. But it's the same idea. You would either hit the widget to share, or you hit share or print PDF, and there are also different options that you guys can make for your seller to show them a breakdown of the transfer taxes, the estimated costs, what they owe, broker fee, all that stuff. And this can all be done in minutes, really, straight from this app. The most important part is that first section where you input the information. As long as that's correct, everything else will follow right through and be fine. If you ever have any questions, always reach out to me. We can do a Zoom, we can hop on, we can do whatever we need to do to try to get you guys straightened out. So that's the buyer and that's the seller cost sheets right there. Those are probably the most common. Now, I like to go on social media. I like to post on social media. The premium section is awesome for that. If you're not super creative, or you can't come up with ideas, or you don't want to sit there and go and make your own stuff, you know, I know we have a lot of different options with Berkshire Hathaway, but also this was an option for you. So with the premium section, some of you may be grandfathered into this. They came along and said eventually, I believe it's $1 a month now. If you're newer, you may have to pay $1 a month. When you come into this section, they have tutorial videos, they have a bunch of different infographics, and then they just have regular posts. The nice thing is they're all broken down on the left-hand side. For example, if you go into the infographics tab, maybe, it will break them down for you at the top, even if it's a Facebook post, if it's an Instagram story, if it's an Instagram post or a Facebook story or LinkedIn or TikTok, it literally will format them properly. So if you are going to do a Facebook post, and this is the best part, guys, okay? So say we were going to, here's one for first-time homebuyers. So what you do here, not only can you just share this post, but the caption in these hashtags, you can just hit copy caption, and then you can click share, and you can then paste the caption right into your post. So you don't even have to think about what to write with the post. Now, I always tweak it a little bit, but at least it gives you that starting idea. And then it also has the hashtags there for you already. And then you can add a couple hashtags on. And what, you know, everyone's always like, what's the point of hashtags? It just helps your posts get found. People do search by them. So if anyone searches by that hashtag, it would be in any group of posts searched by that. So that is all inside of the app. There is a whole category or catalog, I mean, of different posts. They do add every month to the different infographics. There's also a couple videos even that you can add to social media, and then it automatically puts your information at the end. So if you can't figure out what to do, or you're sitting at home, just flip through here. There's a lot of good information, again, right inside the app. And then the final section really would be the calculators. Some of these ones they even just added this month, so I haven't even got into them. Obviously, this one right here, a flip calculator, instantly has caught my eye. I don't even know what goes into it. Let's learn together real quick. We'll do that interest rate. We'll just say the down payment's 20%. Okay, so look at this. You can add in the rehab cost. You can put in the sales price. You know, I'm just making this stuff up as I go along here, but and then it will even tell you the holding costs, it looks like, for any flippers you have. So this is cool. And there you go. So it'll make a quick flipping calculator, and then again you could share the PDF, and I'm sure it's going to have, there you go, a fix and flip report for you. So they're always adding to the app. It's fun to learn with it, and they're going with the industry and learning as we go. We got a home equity calculator, an item for buy down if you have any buyers looking to buy down their rate. So please mess around with it. You can't really break it. Learning it is a great tool. I always want to be there for you for cost sheets, but for some reason, if I can't be there, it's there for you guys. So let me know if you have any questions. That's all I have for now. No one is crazy enough to put their camera on, so I hope everyone was able to hear me. Anyone at all have any questions before we go? All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for today. I appreciate your time. I will send this out to everyone, to all the offices. So we'll have this to recap if you need it, or reach out to me in person, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.